Hello and welcome to Tonic. I know that some of you do not have blocks and straps or bolsters at home. That's okay. What I did today was create a few homemade versions. So this is my son's shirt that I took and rolled up and I'll use in place of a strap. Instead of blocks, I've taken books, wrapped them in a blanket. Now you'll want to consider using pretty thick, sturdy books for this. And just wrap them up. Instead of a bolster, this is a bolster, I have used a rolled up fuzzy blanket. So that would be a thicker bolster. Can always add pillows. And I crocheted this myself. This would be a smaller bolster. So we'll get started off today in Shavasana. Come lying down onto your mat. Draw attention to your heart. Just become aware of the energy that flows there. This is a practice that will look at love, compassion, self-acceptance. So close your eyes, relax your body. As you begin to focus on your breath, also begin to deepen it. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. And if you want here, you can begin to visualize the color green. You might even place a hand on your heart. Maybe repeat the mantra, may all beings be happy, may all beings be free from pain. Begin to walk the feet in towards the glutes. Take a hold of your strap and begin to hook the strap to the sole of your right foot. If it's available to you, straightening the left leg towards the bottom of the mat. If that doesn't feel comfortable, keep the left knee bent. Draw the right knee in towards your upper body. And then exhale, straighten the leg, push into the strap. Make sure that you're extending your tailbone down to the floor. Inhale, bend into the knee. Exhale, push your foot into the strap. Create resistance by holding the strap tight. Continue back and forth, inhaling as you bend your knee and exhaling as you straighten the leg. One more time. And then straighten the leg completely, pressing up through the right heel towards the ceiling. Walk your hands as far as you comfortably can up your strap. Maybe you bend the elbows, drawing the leg closer. Maybe you reach for your toes. This exercise strengthens the legs and relieves tension in your low back. One more breath here. And now pivot your heel in, your toes out, airplane your left arm out to the side, and begin to open the right leg out to the side of you. Holding onto the strap or reaching for your toes with your right hand. Remember, you can slide a bolster or a block or a pillow underneath the right side of your leg, and that will put a stopping point on this stretch. If it's available, try taking your chin towards your left shoulder. One more deep, slow breath here. Begin to kick into your strap. Draw the leg back up, foot towards the sky. Both hands take a hold of your strap, and we'll slide this into an IT band stretch. So draw the leg closely in towards your upper body. Really go to your edge. Pin down through the right hip and slide your foot about 4 to 6 inches to the left. So think leg in and slightly over to the left. Do not allow the right glute or the back of your glute to lift. Begin to release your leg back to center. Remove the strap from your foot. Bend your knee in towards your chest. Interlace your hands to the front of the knee. Squeeze the thigh bone in towards the lower ribs. Circle out your ankle. We'll switch sides. Opening the leg channels through the left leg. Hook your strap to the sole of your left foot. Right knee can stay bent, or you can actively extend the right foot towards the bottom of the mat. Begin the motion of bending your knee and straightening the leg. Make sure that you're creating some resistance. Really pull in on the strap. It's okay if your leg trembles a little bit here as well. One more time. And then straightening the leg. Walk your hands as far up the strap as you can. Press up through the heel. Take your hamstring stretch. Take one more deep breath. And now pivot your heel in and your toes out slightly. Left hand holds onto the strap, right arm airplanes out to the side for support. Open the left leg out to the side. Remember to use a blanket or your block underneath the left side of your leg if you need a little extra support. And if it's okay with your neck, you might try tilting your chin towards right shoulder. Remember to breathe. Begin to kick into your strap, drawing the left foot back up towards the ceiling. Walk your hands up the strap, draw the leg in as closely as you can, and then rooting down through the left hip, guide your left foot over to the right about 4 to 6 inches, keeping the leg as straight as you possibly can. It's okay to have a small bend in your knee. Begin to release your leg, remove the strap from your foot, hug the knee in, circle out your ankle. Draw both knees in towards your chest and take a few gentle, rhythmic rock and rolls to the left and to the right, massaging those back muscles into the mat. Rolling over to one side, grab a hold of your block or your pillows or bolster for supported bridge pose. So you'll place your block or your bolster low against the bony back of your pelvis, right at the sacrum. Allow your shoulder blades to relax into the mat. Keep the knees bent, feet directly under the knees. And let the tops of your shoulders sink down. This is a really nice stretch for the front of your hips. Either staying here with the knees bent or reaching your legs long, straightening them out towards the bottom of the mat. If it's okay with your shoulders, you might even stretch the arms behind you. Allow for a nice open feeling across the entire front of your body. This stretch is really good for runners and cyclists who have to rely on their pedal stroke and their running strides. Either staying in this position or begin to draw the right knee in towards your chest, interlacing your hands at the base of the knee. You could also hold the back of the thigh. As you hug the right knee in, actively press down through the left thigh bone, like you're trying to spread it down into the mat towards the bottom. Begin to switch sides. Slide the left foot in, release the right knee, hugging the left knee in. And if it's available, extending the right leg straight to the bottom of the mat. If you're really tight in your psoas, your hip flexors, you might feel this one as an intense stretch. So just go mindfully. Begin to release by sliding the right foot in, letting go of the left knee, bring the left foot to the ground. Engage your core, lift the hips, and remove your block or your bolster out from underneath. As you replace your spine to the mat, take a moment to windshield wiper your knees back and forth, releasing any tension in the low spine. Rolling to one side of your body or the other, come forward onto the hands and the knees and bring your block or your pillows or your bolster directly out in front of you. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and begin to take your cat-cow. Exhale to round the back, tucking chin and tailbone. Inhale to arch the spine, lifting the heart, lifting the tailbone. Now we'll get into the block that's in front of you, moving into Anahatasana over blocks. Work your elbows onto the blocks and walk them forward a little bit to get the forearms down. Then bring the palms together in prayer. As you soften your chest to the mat, make sure to keep your hips over your knees. Bend the elbows and draw your thumbs to the back of your neck. I have my forehead resting on the block. If you'd like to move deeper into this pose, melting your heart closer towards the ground, then you'd allow your forehead to lower down towards the ground as well. Relax your shoulder blades and soften deeply into this. Allow a sense of compassion and self-acceptance to resonate throughout your body. To get out of this pose, engage your core. Really hug to the center of your core. Try not to use your shoulders. Then gently begin to lower the forearms, lift the head, press up, bringing your hands into the mat. Moving into a subscapularis release. Adjust your block. You might need to place a rolled up hand towel or another blanket or block on it. And we're looking to bring this area right underneath the right armpit, is a tender spot there, on top of your block. So lie down onto the block on the right side. Let your head rest in your right hand. Try to move around a little bit on the block until you find that tender spot, which is right below the armpit. I like to take my left hand and reach it up and back behind me. This just allows for a little bit more weight to press into the block. You'll mindfully release your weight into this trigger point. This is a meridian point or pathway to the heart. One last breath, and then slowly begin to release. Press away from the block, and we'll switch sides. So adjust your block, Shifting onto the left side, bring that area right below the left armpit on top of your block. Press your weight into the block. And as your weight settles down towards the ground, remember to focus on your breath. Allow your body to slowly and gently release from this pose as you press off of the block. Move your block or your bolster out of the way. Come forward onto your belly, all the way down. Stack one forearm on top of the other and let your forehead rest to the back of your forearms. Begin to breathe into the natural curve in your low spine. You can stay here or begin to walk the elbows in, coming into Sphinx pose. You might release the forearms to the ground, fingertips towards the front of the mat. This will help you to really press down into the mat, drawing the chest forward and up, sliding the shoulder blades down your back. Press your tailbone toward the front body and then lengthen it towards your heels. If you'd like to move deeper into this pose, take your hands to the outer edges of your mat and straighten your arms. Lift your belly ever so slightly by lightly drawing it in. Roll the outer thighs to the floor. This will help you broaden out your low back. And as always, breathe. This pose brings fresh energy to the lungs and chest. It helps to strengthen your spine, and it soothes the nervous system. Take one more deep breath, and then on your exhale, slowly begin to lower all the way down, chest to the mat. Make pillows with your hands and bring your right cheek to the back of your hands. Slide your left knee up and out to the side of you, as far up as you can go. If this is too much for your neck, you can always bring your forehead to the back of your hands. Slowly begin to slide the left leg back to meet the right, flipping onto the left cheek or forehead to the back of the hands. Take your right knee, slide it all the way up to the right side of you, up towards the top of the mat. Melt the entire front side of your body down into the ground. Begin to slide the right leg back to meet the left. Bring your forehead to the back of your hands, bend your knees, and windshield wiper the feet back and forth, over to the left and to the right. Make your way onto your hands and knees and take a hold of your bolster. You'll place your bolster lengthwise up your mat behind you. I'm using the smaller bolster and then putting a couple of pillows underneath it. Settle your upper body down onto the bolster. So bring your sacrum up to the bottom of your bolster or your rolled up blankets, and then guide your body all the way down, bringing the back of the head, the shoulders, into your blankets. Let your arms rest. If you need to, place a blanket under your head to elevate it and support your neck. Maybe you bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees wide. Allow this pose to feel restorative. The first step in healing is to release stress. So invite the tranquility of this pose. Taking about one more breath. And then to release from this posture, support your body. Take a hand behind your head. Roll to one side of the bolster or the other. And gently make your way up. Move your props out of the way, and then place your bolster horizontally across the center of your mat for a supported shoulder stand. You'll work your hips onto the bolster. Use your arms, your elbows to guide the shoulder blades down onto the mat. Your hips are lifted ever so slightly, extending the feet up towards the ceiling. You might let your arms rest by your side, or maybe you reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling as well. This gentle inversion helps to improve immune function overall. Specifically helps to relieve mild depression by stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system. So definitely take what you need from this. Stay as long as you need to. If you feel that the bolster is lifting your hips too high, you can always slide a pillow underneath your hips. Slowly begin to release by lowering 1 foot at a time to the mat to support the low back. Lift your hips and use your hands to roll the bolster down away from the hips, underneath the knees. Soft bend in the knees as you allow your legs to drape over your blanket. Use a pillow or a rolled up towel underneath your head if you need to. Allow the body to get nice and comfortable, relaxing into the mat for your Shavasana. Let your mind be still and allow your breathing to be gentle. You might focus on the energy at the level of your heart. And as you breathe, allow that energy of love, compassion, and self-acceptance to resonate within and around you. Take a few moments to settle into this space of gratitude and love. And thank you for joining me for Tonic. Open your heart.